Saul and I were roommates and we were really good friends. And after freshman year, we decided to go to Europe together. And we were traveling around, hitchhiking, which you could easily do in those days. I remember I had a guidebook. It was called Europe on $5 a day. And you could actually really do that and really have quite a good time on $5 a day in those days. Now it's more like $5 a minute, if that. But Saul and I were traveling around Europe together most of the summer. And at one point, we um, went in two different directions, but then agreed that we were going to meet again in Spain at a certain date. The reason we were going to meet in Spain was that I had written a paper in freshman year about Salvador Dali, and I was so enthralled with him that I decided I wanted to meet him. And so I had the plan to go to his house in Port Yagat, Spain, which I did, and in fact did meet him and had lunch with him, and it was a very wonderful experience. But that's not the point of this discussion. But the point is that I I had made arrangements to be there in Spain at a certain date with Saul. So during the time that we were apart from one another on this trip through Europe,
Yeah.
I was in London and saw a poster in the London Underground station with a picture of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi,
Ah,
who something about that picture just it really kind of captured my interest. And I said, I don't know who that is, but I'd like to see this person. And I went to the lecture
I have.
and
Hold on one second.
hey, Norm.
This is
Hi, Dave. This is Matt Kastner. How are you?
Oh my
ready to put.
gosh. Hi. Oh, so good to see you. Another former roommate. Matt and Norm.
Hello.
I I like both of you so much when we were at Yale, and sorry that we haven't stayed in touch more, but it's great to see you here.
Thank you.
Um, so anyway, I went and I saw this lecture by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, and I was very impressed and very intrigued. I was impressed, first of all, by what he had to say. I understood it at that time from well, my perspective as a freshman at Yale. I remember reading Aldous Huxley's The Perennial Philosophy, which talked about the fact that there was this um, a philosophy, an understanding, and an experience that seemed to keep cropping up throughout human history in all different cultures, apparently independently and unrelatedly from other such instances, which were based upon the idea that there was one universal reality of life which could be experienced. And it was, sought after by mystics and by prophets and by various philosophers throughout history. And so I had been impressed by that. I was no student of, Eastern mysticism or any such thing. But when I saw this lecture by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, I said, wow, this seems to be the first person I've encountered who is actually talking about what Aldous Huxley described in the Perennial Philosophy, and not talking about it in an intellectual way, but saying, I experienced this. This is my reality. This is a description of my life that I'm living, and I can show you all how to experience it too if you want. So I said, yeah, where do I sign up? I'd love to experience that. So as it turned out, I couldn't start right then because I had already made plans to meet my roommate and friend Saul in Spain when the personal instruction was to be held. And of course, there was no way of emailing him in those days. There was no way of even sending him a letter and getting a reply in those days. So I just had to go keep my commitment to Saul. But I made arrangements um, to learn through a teacher that Maharishi had trained when I got back to the East Coast, and I did, and wow, it changed my life dramatically. I had such a good experience with it. I was, I think, you know, the subject of a lot of then typical teenage angst and looking for uh, some relief from that, some deeper understanding, some better perspective that maybe would give me more peace. And I was quite introspective, philosophical, none of which seemed to do me any good, really. And then when I meditated, I just kind of transcended all of that. And it was just this experience of a very deep and very welcome peace. And it didn't feel like anything at all foreign or strange or esoteric. It just felt like, oh yeah, yes, right. Yeah, this is who I am, of course. Even that is too intellectual a description of what the experience was. It was just an experience of peace, peace which passeth understanding, you know. Uh, so I loved my initial experiences of it, made a big impact. And I told the man who initiated me, whose name was Ricard Fleur, that I was a student at Yale, and he said, "Oh, that's great. Um, Maharishi would like to speak at some top U.S. universities. Um, would it be all right with you if I ask him if he would like to come to Yale? And if he says yes, would you be interested in setting it up?" And I said, "Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. Please do." So he did. And the reply came back a day or two later, yes, have David set it up again. Norm was out, now he's come back. And so I did. And, I went all out. I booked Wolsey Hall, biggest auditorium on campus by far, and did a big publicity job. And it was just about full at the time of the lecture. And Maharishi didn't show up. And after about a half hour, he still hadn't showed up. And, I went up on stage and I said, "Well, don't worry, I'm sure he'll be here." He said he was coming. I mean, I am a sophomore now, standing up on the stage of Wolsey Hall to a full house. Uh, and then a security guard came up the aisle, said he had gotten a phone message that Maharishi had been delayed. In fact, there was car trouble to blame, and but that he would be there. Don't worry, he'd be there in, I don't know, I think about a half an hour or 45 minutes or something. So I told everyone, um, okay, well, he's definitely coming, and you can stay, or you can go and come back again at 8:30 or whatever the time would have been. So most people stayed. Some people left. Uh, most of the people who left did come back. So the hall was still almost full when he came, and he came and he spoke, and he was very warmly received uh, out of that group of, maybe it turned out to be about 800, mostly students and faculty in the audience. Um, More than 100 of them learned to meditate right then at the introductory course that was given, and quite a good number of them wound up learning uh, other opportunities that were provided throughout our sophomore year. And a number of those people um, became lifelong friends. A number of them became uh, faculty of Maharishi International University, of which I was one of the founding administrators. Um, And here we all are tonight um, as or as a result, direct or indirect, of that event that happened. How many years ago was it? Almost 60 years ago, right? So it's it's really it's gratifying to me to see that event, which I was so unqualified to organize, had turned out to have such a lasting impact on so many people.
David, is there a recording of that talk? I don't think I've ever heard it if there is.
I don't think so. No, it wasn't that easy to do then. And no, I don't believe that there was a recording of it. There was,
I sent David an account written the next day in the Yale Daily News, which
yeah,
actually goes through quite a bit of what the Maharishi covered. It's a pretty good article, I thought.
yeah,
I have,
it was quite
I saw
accurate.
that. I haven't gone through it yet, but I will.
Yeah, yeah.